Hey guys, YouTuber Undertaker here. Alright, and here I am now with my second Undertaker Survivor Series match review, as I told you in my last video, in honor of Undertaker celebrating 30th anniversary at Survivor Series tomorrow now. And here I am with the second Undertaker match review that I'm making, which is a review for the match between Hulk Hogan and The Undertaker at Survivor Series 1991. Yeah. I'm reviewing the match the following year after Undertaker's debut. Yeah. So I figured that this would be like a good match to for me to review, seeing as how it is like a really well known match, and especially like as far as like in Undertaker's early career. Yeah. This is like probably his like most memorable one of his most memorable matches of his early career. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, this was a really good to great match right here. Yeah. I've seen like some people really say that this match really is not very good, but and stuff. Yeah, I already talked about this back when I reviewed Tuesday in Texas a few years ago. Yeah, I mean just yeah, I think that the reason that some people really do say this match is really good is because they just really don't understand the story for this match, and really just like with the same case goes for the Tuesday in Texas match, where just they really just don't understand the story, because this was during the time like Undertaker was still like really undefeated at this point. Yeah, he didn't actually receive any like pinfall loss at this point. So this was still like when the Undertaker was still like dis- displayed as an unstoppable force, and of course with like Hulk Hogan being like like the biggest star, pretty much being like the immortal one. I mean, the story with these matches were just great, making it seem like maybe Hulk Hogan was really like the big contender against Undertaker, and maybe like Hulk Hogan was the one that could really face up to the Undertaker, or the Undertaker could be like more powerful than Hulk Hogan. Maybe the Undertaker really was like the most powerful force in the company at this point. Yeah, so the storylines going into like these two matches with this one and the Tuesday in Texas match was just like really big, and just like I really don't think people really understand really just how big the stories for these matches were. Yeah, and the story really does help with the match, and this was just a really good to great match. So Survivor Series 2000 Survivor Series 1991 as a whole, uh, it was a pretty bad show. I mean, yeah, in Lundrick's re-review that he just made for this show, he's talked about like how like the WWF at the time, like they were kind of like starting to decline in the early 90s, and this was like kind of like just in the period of like where they were kind of like really going into a downfall. And especially like because Hulk Hogan has really said himself that like in the early '90s, this is kind of like when like his gimmick was really starting to become stale and flattened out, because people, this was like the early '90s was just really the time where people were kind of really getting tired of like Hulk Hogan's gimmick. I mean they were just really kind of getting tired of like him being like in the main event all the time and just seeing the same stuff with him. Like Hulk Hogan has gone on record or on that himself, because he knew that people were really getting tired of it. So I mean there were still like good points in the WWF at the time, but this was kind of like where they were starting to like kind of go into decline at this time. So and this pay per view does kind of like show it, because the rest of the show aside from this match, it really wasn't very good at all. I mean, this was actually the first Survivor Series where you actually did have a WWF Championship match on the show with this match. Prior to this, like for all the previous Survivor Series, like the WWF champion would be in the Survivor Series elimination matches, and there was like no actual title match on the show. But this was the first year that you actually did have the WWF championship on the line in a match. So that was historic for But the rest of the show was just Survivor Series elimination matches. Uh, you had Ric Flair, Ted DiBiase, the Mountie, and the Warlord versus Roddy Piper, Bret Hart, the British Bulldog, and Virgil, which was a pretty good match. But everything else, you had Jim Duggan, Sergeant Slaughter, Tito Santana, and Kerry Von Erich versus Colonel Mustafa, aka the Iron Sheik, Skinner, the Berserker, and Hercules. Which, yeah, that was terrible. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. The you had the Nasty Boys and the Beverly Brothers versus the Rockers and the Bushwhackers, which was not really bad. It was is like not yeah, it wasn't terrible, but yeah, it was a pretty mediocre match given like who was in it. Yeah, I mean with talent like the Nasty Boys and Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. I mean, but you also did have the Bushwhackers in there, so yeah. Yeah, and then then in the and you had the Legion of Doom and the Big Boss Man versus the Natural Disasters and IRS, which was only a 3-on-3 Survivor Series elimination match, which wasn't too good. Yeah, so yeah, the rest of the show really was not that good, but yeah, with this match, Hulk Hogan and The Undertaker for the WWF Championship, this was a really, really good to great match. I mean, this was easily The Undertaker's best match in the company at this point. Of course, like the match that they would have the following week at Tuesday in Texas was better, but yeah, this was still a really, really good to great match. I mean, you got to really understand the story for this because that really does add a lot to the match. And and even like the in-ring action between them, it was also like very solid as well. So yeah, this match really does not deserve the negativity that it gets because just like the Tuesday in Texas match, they these both these were both really good to great matches, and they were easily Undertaker's best matches in the company at the point. And Hulk Hogan and the Undertaker really did work very well together at this time with these two matches. Yeah, of course, like when they met again at Judgment Day 2002, I mean, their chemistry was not the same as it was here. But back during this time, they did work really well together, and and Hulk Hogan really did like work well with the Undertaker, and he really did like give the Undertaker like some of the best matches in his career. Like I said, these were like his two best matches in the company at this point. So I found it kind of interesting that this match was just like in the middle of the show rather than it being the main event. But of course, like later in the night, like it was kind of like like explain like why this was like in the middle of the show. But this was like a really, really good, great match, and I really did enjoy it, and and it deserves like more recognition, and it deserves like more positivity to it because this is like a good match. All right, so let me just talk about the match. All right. So really just there wasn't really like any really big rivalry between Hulk Hogan and the Undertaker this time. This was like when Ric Flair did come to the company. At the time, and of course like this was like when Ric Flair was like claiming like he was the real world champion. This was during the time where Ric Flair was appearing on WWF TV with the WCW Big Gold. And of course, like this was like when WCW was legally pursuing the WWF to get the possession of it back. I found it funny, like the recap of the match where like it showed Hulk Hogan on the funeral parlor. Like Ric Flair came out. How I found it funny how they actually did censor the big gold belt. I guess this was like this was actually when like WCW actually did get possession of the belt back, and the WWF couldn't actually like show it on their programs anymore, so they had to censor it out. I found that kind of funny. But this was like in the like during like the rivalry between Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair that was like supposed to be leading up to like what the WWF was originally planning for WrestleMania the following year with the match between Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. But I explained that before, and and it explained like why like the result of this match was like it was very short lived. I'll talk about that when I get to the end of this match. But you did have like Hulk Hogan defending the title against the Undertaker, and like I said, this was like just like Undertaker's 1 year anniversary with the company. And at this point, like I said, the Undertaker was still like undefeated in the company. Like he never actually received like an actual pinfall loss in the company. And this was a really good match. Like I really did enjoy the back and forth stuff between Hulk Hogan and the Undertaker. This was still like when the Undertaker like had a different his like character was different than how he has become to be known now by the fans. Where yeah, this was still like when the Undertaker still had like the zombie persona to him, and yeah, the Undertaker was moving like a lot slower in the ring. And yeah, this was like when like Paul Bearer was like controlling the Undertaker with the urn. This was not like how the Undertaker people do think of the Undertaker today, where yeah, the Undertaker really is like the yeah he's like much faster and actually he does like fight like a wrestler. Yeah, this was like when the Undertaker was like a zombie. Yeah, so yeah, but yeah, with the Undertaker's gimmick at this time, this was really good. Yeah, I mean, really did a good job. Like with like seemed like Undertaker really was like more powerful than Hulk Hogan. There were like lots of points in this match where like the Undertaker was overpowering Hulk Hogan, and an Undertaker really was like very dominant on Hulk Hogan at multiple points in the match. Yeah, and yeah, whenever like Hulk Hogan would like gain the upper hand on the Undertaker, like Paul Bearer would end up getting involved. Like as the referee was like turned around, like Paul Bearer would get involved and attack Hulk Hogan. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and this match is just like went back and forth. I mean, this match really wasn't very long. This match was only like 12 minutes, but yeah, they did like really good. Yeah, and then and the Undertaker then at one point, while they were like on the outside of the ring, the Undertaker was actually choking Hulk Hogan with a cable. Yeah, 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 and then eventually, then Hulk Hogan then was like trying to make a comeback, and then Hulk Hogan started to battle back against the Undertaker, but then as Hulk Hogan was starting to execute a comeback, then the Undertaker then just like executed his like flying clothesline on Hulk Hogan. Yeah, yeah, and then then at one point, the Undertaker then actually did hit the tombstone on Hulk Hogan, but then Hulk Hogan like then just it didn't phase him, and then Hulk Hogan then started to Hulk up, and then he was like gaining the upper hand on the Undertaker again, and then. But Hulk Hogan like it didn't seem like Hulk Hogan could actually knock the Undertaker down, but then eventually he actually did like cause Undertaker to drop down to a knee. Yeah, yeah, and then Hulk Hogan then eventually then did hit the big boot on uh the Undertaker, but Paul Bearer stopped Hulk Hogan from like being able to execute the leg drop as Hulk Hogan was running to the ropes. Then Ric Flair ended up like coming out again. Well, not again, but Ric Flair ended up running out. Yeah, and then Ric Flair then just went and grabbed the WWF title, but then Hulk Hogan then went after Ric Flair and nailed him. Yeah. And then as Hulk Hogan like we tried to go after the Undertaker again, then Paul Bearer like they tried to go after Hulk Hogan again, but then as the referee like was like busy like with trying to like get Paul Bearer out of the ring, then the Undertaker then set Hulk Hogan up for the tombstone again, and then Ric Flair like slipped a chair inside of the ring, and then the Undertaker then tombstone Hulk Hogan on the steel chair, and then that allowed the Undertaker to pin Hulk Hogan. So then the Undertaker won his first WWF championship. Yeah, and even like the Undertaker did actually get like quite quite the number of cheers in this match. So I guess this is kind of like another example of like how people were kind of like getting tired of Hulk Hogan. Yeah, because the crowd was really mixed on this. Like some cheered Hulk Hogan and some cheered Undertaker, even though like the Undertaker was still a heel at this time. Yeah, but so the Undertaker here defeated Hulk Hogan, and the Undertaker became the WWF champion. But of course, like this wasn't very long lived. Yeah, because as I said, like later on in the night, like Jack Tunney like announced the rematch between them at Tuesday in Texas, where Hulk Hogan would regain the title from the Undertaker. Now, and I also talked about this in my Tuesday in Texas review. Like, there are people that really do complain about the Undertaker's title reign being so short lived, and people also like placing blame on Hulk Hogan, like saying that it was like his politics like stopped Undertaker's from having a good title reign. But let me set the record straight once again. I said this before in my Tuesday in Texas review, but that was years ago. Let me say it once again here in this video. Hulk Hogan had nothing to do with the Undertaker's title reign here being so short-lived. The reason it was very short-lived was, as I said, it was to advance the storyline for the original plan for WrestleMania 8 with setting up a match between Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair at WrestleMania. Hulk Hogan did not play politics in here because even when he did win the title back from the Undertaker Tuesday in Texas, he was stripped of the title right after. So yeah, so Hulk Hogan was not a politician for the Undertaker's first title reign here. Yeah, it was to advance the storyline. So yeah, ixnay on the Hulk Hogan hate for Undertaker's short title reign here because Hulk Hogan had nothing to do with it. Yeah, but yeah, this match, yeah, this was a really good to great match. Like I said, this was easily the Undertaker's best match in the company at the time, and of course, like that Tuesday in Texas, they would even have a better match. So yeah, so I would give this match probably a 3 3/4. Yeah, this was, yeah, like I said, this was a really good match. I mean, if you haven't seen it before, yeah, I'd recommend checking it out, especially like if you are like an Undertaker fan and really do want a good highlight from his career. I mean, yeah, I know that like really the Undertaker really can get really like, yeah, this probably isn't really like held by people in like high regard. It's one of Undertaker's greatest moments, but nonetheless, it is still his first WWF Championship win. So if you want to check out that highlight from his career, yeah, I would recommend checking this match out. But even then, like even if you don't just want to see it for that, like the match overall, yeah, it is still worth checking out as well because it is like a really good match. And yeah, like I said, you just gotta like look at the story to this match and really just remember like the gimmick the Undertaker had at this time to really understand the match. Because yeah, if you really like consider those factors, yeah, this is still a really really good match. So yeah, so just make sure that you really do understand everything going into the match and just go into it with an open mind. So yeah, but yeah, still yeah, a really good match overall, and I do recommend it. All right. So yeah, so I guess that's all I can really say about it. So yeah, so this is my review for Hulk Hogan versus The Undertaker at Survivor Series 1991. So I hope you guys did enjoy this review. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.